Welcome everyone back to the Ryan Harper Show. This is episode number 7. We have tons of news to get into. Thank you so much for the support. Let's hop right into it. So the first story we have today is coming from Fox News, and it says that Kamala Harris won't say when she first learned about Biden dropping out of the race. She won't tell us. It says Harris dodges a crucial question on knowledge of Biden's controversial exit decision. Okay, so she knew about it, obviously. Same with all the people behind the scenes. But she won't tell us. That's kind of interesting. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below. Now, the next story is coming from Fox News once again, and this is coming from former President Trump. So here's what Trump said. He said, "You watch the other networks, and you would think that he was Ronald Reagan in his prime. Winston Churchill in his prime. And he wasn't. It was not good." He said a terrible speech. Trump shares his first reaction to Biden's address to the nation after the Democrats pushed him out of the 2024 race on Fox and Friends. The former President Trump, his full remarks are at the link in the bio. They want you to click the link in the bio, as they always do, because as you know, it's clickbait. But the main gist of this story right here is that Trump, on Fox and Friends today, or at least 19 hours ago at the time I'm recording this, shared his reaction to the Democrats pushing out Biden from the race, from Biden leaving the race. And that's what he said. Now, let me know. You can tell me if you agree with Donald Trump here or if you disagree in the comment section down below. I personally actually do agree. Because the news, for example, like he said, the other networks, he's talking about MSNBC here. At least I think. Okay, because news like MSNBC were covering up Biden's mental health issues for a very long time. Since the beginning. They were covering it up. MSNBC would constantly talk about how Joe Biden was like the best president in the world. He was so fit. He was great. Yet, when the debate came, we didn't get to see that. We saw that it was actually the complete opposite. Okay? And actually, most people knew before the debate that Joe Biden was in mental decline. Severely in mental decline. The only people that didn't know were the people that were locked into these MSNBC bubbles where they would watch MSNBC all day, which would just lie to them every single day. And it's only those people that really got a shock on the debate stage that day. And since then it hasn't been good, and that's why Biden dropped out. Now, check this out. Yesterday we reported how Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's prime minister, came to the U.S. yesterday, and he held a speech in front of Congress, and outside of the building, there were pro-Hamas protesters, and they were protesting. They were being very aggressive. Obviously, I would say it was peaceful, but it's not. Check it out. Pro-Hamas graffiti. Okay, so this is coming from Vice President Kamala Harris. Here's what she had to say about these protesters. She said, "Pro-Hamas graffiti and rhetoric is abhorrent, and we must not tolerate it in our nation." And she's 100% correct. Because these protesters that were outside of the building, they were holding up Palestinian flags, and they were burning American flags on the ground. They were burning the American flag. That is an insane symbolization. Pretty much saying to kill America, or America's death. I mean, what else could it mean to burn the American flag? These people are in full support of terrorists. Pro-Hamas. That means they are in support of Hamas. And Hamas is not a giant, but they are a terrorist organization. They're a terrorist group. It's like supporting Al-Qaeda. It's crazy. And not only were they burning the American flag, they were also not spray painting, but graffitiing the words Hamas onto the artifacts. Onto the monumental artifacts. It's crazy. These people are vandalizing sacred statues just because they want to show their side that they are pro-terrorists. That's crazy. Now it says hate-filled rhetoric. Vice President Kamala Harris finally releases a statement on violence hours after the pro-Hamas mobs wreak havoc and burn American flags in the nation's capital. Crazy times we're living in. Now check this out. Elon Musk came out and said people who have been lifelong Democrats refuse to accept the clear reality that the Democratic Party is rapidly becoming openly anti-Semitic. Okay? It says Elon Musk warns of accelerating trend of anti-Semitism within the Democratic Party that is not slowing down. Now, you can let me know if you agree with him. Here's what I'll say. He's correct. There is anti-Semitism happening in the Democratic Party, but there's also anti-Semitism happening in the Republican Party as well. It's happening on both teams, both parties, both cults. Now, if you're an independent like me, you can look at both sides and go, wow. Wow. Both sides are so locked in. Both sides are such under a cult mind frame. It's crazy to see the world that we're in. And yes, it's true. Both parties are becoming more anti-Semitic. It's insane. Check this out. You know how Kamala Harris was assigned the role by President Biden to be the role of border czar, which means you're supposed to secure the border. That was Kamala Harris's role. She was supposed to secure the border, and she didn't. She failed. But here's what it says. Now, multiple House Democrats are voting with the GOP to condemn Kamala Harris for border czar role. It says 6 House Democrats joined all Republicans in the first piece of legislation targeting Harris since she became the Democrats' presumptive 2024 nominee. They're condemning her because, well, she didn't secure the border. That was her role. That was her one job, was to secure the border and to make sure that, people were coming in legally and that we weren't having people come in, sneak in, and sneak away into the country. They weren't being caught and returned back. They were sneaking into the country. Now, many of them have created crime, and I hear this statistic all the time. They're like, the Democrats mostly say this. They say, what are you talking about? The polls show, the data shows, that the people here at home, U.S.-born citizens or U.S. citizens, do more crime than the illegal immigrants. I'm sorry, but that statistic doesn't make any sense because it doesn't prove anything. It does not prove anything. Sure, it proves that we do more crime than the immigrants, but that also is crazy because the number of U.S. citizens versus illegal immigrants is vastly different. We have way more people here at home that are U.S. citizens than we do illegal immigrants. So therefore, of course the crime's going to be more than the illegal immigrants. No. I mean, come on now. Check this out, though. If we go over here, Fox News said that they're reporting on Trump. Okay, so they're reporting on Trump, and here's what Trump had to say. Trump said that Vice President Kamala Harris has been the ultra-liberal driving force behind every single Biden catastrophe. She is a radical left lunatic. She is a radical left lunatic who will destroy our country if she ever gets the chance to get into office. Former President Trump wasted no time in putting a new label on his opponent, describing her as more liberal than Bernie. More liberal than Bernie Sanders. Do you agree with that? I think most people would agree because here's the thing. Even her own party is saying how she's the most progressive candidate in American history. And if she becomes president, she'll be the most progressive president in American history. Even her own cult, her own fan base, her own party is saying that. And then on top of that, you have the other side, the Republican Party, who also says that. So it seems like everyone unilaterally agrees that she is indeed the most left candidate in American history. At least most progressive, let's say. Now check this out. New poll shows race tightening after Biden pushed out. Trump still ahead of Harris. So the new polls are coming out, and it's showing that Donald Trump still maintains a lead ahead of Kamala Harris. On the move, Vice President Kamala Harris is edging former President Donald Trump in a hypothetical general election matchup, according to a new poll conducted after Biden dropped out of the 2024 presidential race. So it seems like Donald Trump is still winning. And I think he will continue to win. We might see a little bit of a jump here in Kamala Harris over the next few weeks and months. But I think overall, she can't win. And Donald Trump will probably take the victory if she is the candidate. But of course, I'm hoping RFK Jr. can make a landslide victory. And polls show that he can in a head-to-head race against Biden and a head-to-head race against Trump. We're not sure about Kamala yet. But he does absolutely landslide Trump in a head-to-head race. So RFK Jr. definitely can win. And if people do vote their conscience this election, if people vote their conscience, if people vote the right way, they will vote for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. We will see what happens, though. We definitely will. Check this out. Here's Hulk Hogan. Let's see what he had to say. Actually, this is not a video, but we get to see him taking off his shirt. I'm joking. Kind of. You can see him ripping this shirt right here, okay? For the Trump Vance shirt behind it. And this says, and by the way, if you're listening on podcast, you'll just have to watch the video. Hulk Hogan, this is what he said. He said, all of a sudden, when they tried to assassinate Donald Trump, I said, that's it. That's it. I can't be silent. This is not correct. This is not right on any level. Even if it was Trump, or Biden, or Clinton, or anybody. But that is not right. Talking about, of course, the assassination attempt, WWE legend Hulk Hogan says he was calling himself a coward for not speaking his mind about the election before his now iconic RNC speech. He explains how the Trump assassination attempt changed everything. So his opinion changed on Trump after he almost got assassinated. And I agree with him, by the way. It's not right. The assassination attempt was not right, and I condemned it in every single way. I said you were monsters if you were sad that the bullet missed Donald Trump's brain. You were monsters. There was a lot of people calling, saying, he should have been hit. Why did you miss? Why have we gotten to this point in the country? Political violence is not the answer no matter what, period, no matter what you believe. No matter if you agree with the person or not, it's not the right answer. Now check this out. Senator Tom Tillis, okay? This is what he said. He said, Rashida Tlaib continues to be an absolute disgrace. And Rashida is the person in the picture there holding the war criminal sign in front of Congress. This was while Netanyahu was giving his speech, so it says Rashida ripped for holding war criminal sign during Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's speech at Congress. The backlash hitting the squad lawmakers over the viral moment. Now check this out, because like earlier, Kamala Harris was condemning the protesters, the pro-Hamas protesters, the pro-Hamas agitators, and now it looks like Mike Johnson is also coming out, which is the House Speaker, of course. He's coming out against them as well. He said, they are desecrating monuments, destroying public property, and they need to be arrested and sent to jail if they're going to act like that and support a bloodthirsty terrorist regime. And he's 100% correct, because, look, supporting Hamas is crazy in the first place because they are a terrorist organization. And then you're going to go ahead and graffiti Hamas onto the monument. Okay? That's insane. Because that's pretty much like graffitiing Al-Qaeda onto a monument. I mean, that's how far they're going. It says, Speaker Mike Johnson slams pro-Hamas agitators who vandalized D.C. landmarks as Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed Congress. His call to put a stop to the terrorist mobs. And I agree with him. Let me know if you agree with me. Check this out, though. And if you're not watching the video, I'll let you know what it says. But they graffitied Hamas onto this monument, this D.C. monument. Then they also graffitied, it looks like, Free Gaza. Now, I want to say this because there is real concern. I get it. There's people with real concerns about how deaths are occurring in Gaza. I get it. There's terrible deaths occurring every day in Gaza. I understand that movement, and I feel you. But supporting Hamas, a terrorist organization, is not the way to go. Let me just say that. It's not the way to go. And overall, Hamas is destroying both Israel and Gaza at the same time every single day. Major Biden donor goes against the grain and shares his concerns about Kamala Harris's run. This is posted by Fox News. It says why he says the Democrats are squandering. That's interesting. A major Biden donor is concerned about Kamala Harris running. So he was for Biden, but he's not for Kamala. Or at least he has concerns about Kamala. And he should, because her record has not been good. Her record has not been good, and She had one job. It was to secure the border. She didn't do it. So why do you think she would fulfill her job as president? Okay, let's just keep that in mind. We have to. It's a valid point. Okay. Fox News also reported that Dr. Mark Siegel, this is what he said, Mark Siegel, he said, it is a very emotional time for him, and he isn't showing it. He seems to lack conviction. Doctors weigh in on Biden's health after watching his address to the nation, what it could mean for the president. What do you think about that? Do you agree with Dr. Mark Siegel here? Now, Christopher Wray, who is the FBI director, he actually came out today, and here's what he had to say. First, let me tell you what Fox News said. It says, during a tense Capitol Hill hearing, FBI Director Christopher Wray disclosed 5 crucial details about the Trump shooting, explosive cache. In an effort to increase transparency with the American public, the agency is taking unprecedented steps to reveal the severity of the threat. And here's what he said. This is Christopher Wray. He said, I want to assure you and the American people that the men and women of the FBI will continue to work tirelessly to get to the bottom of what happened. So let me just say, I'm happy that they're actually doing this. I'm happy that they're going through with investigations and actually complying. Of course, we had the Secret Service, which was really sketchy. Very, very sketchy. The Secret Service director who stepped down, she resigned. And she was very sketchy in this whole situation. But Christopher Wray, I don't think Christopher Wray is very sketchy. So if anyone starts pointing him out, that would be interesting. But, I think he actually is going through with it. He's complying, which is good, and that's what we need. So, Fox News reported, and don't worry, by the way, guys. We're going to get to Newsmax. We're going to get to ABC, CBS, all that stuff. But first, Fox News. This is the former NYSE CEO, Dick Grasso. Okay, so Dick Grasso said, if she's going to be a very serious contender for the presidency, talking about Kamala Harris, she has got to tamper down on a lot of the extreme movement on the left. It says, ex-NYSE CEO compares Biden's departure, Harris' rise to iconic Godfather scene. The former Wall Street leader on what Harris needs to do to win. Let me know if you agree with Dick Grasso here. Check this out. ABC News, breaking news, and I'm shocked, by the way, because we reported this. We reported that Obama had not endorsed Kamala. At least he hadn't endorsed her yet. And I honestly didn't think he was going to, because he didn't endorse Joe Biden. Back when Joe Biden was running, he didn't endorse Joe Biden, even though he was supporting Biden. He didn't endorse him. And he won. And he's been helping him all the way until the end. But now, Obama has come out and officially endorsed Kamala Harris. So he's officially done it now. It says, former President Barack Obama officially endorses Vice President Kamala Harris to be the Democratic Party's 2024 presidential nominee. Former President Obama officially endorses Kamala. That's crazy. I didn't think he was going to do it, but he did it. Let me know if you agree with him or if you don't agree with him. Now, ABC News, this is a report, and it says a Fox News interview from 2021 in which Senator J.D. Vance smeared Vice President Kamala Harris as one of the group of the childless cat ladies. That's the term that J.D. Vance used. So Kamala Harris was a childless cat lady. The video has resurfaced, sparking some backlash, including a clapback from Vice President Harris's own stepdaughter. In the clip, J.D. Vance questioned Democrats, including Harris, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for not having biological children. Quote, we are effectively run in this country. Wait, what? That makes no sense. We are effectively run in this country. Who wrote this? I guess that's what Vance said. Okay, so I guess he misspelled it, but we are effectively running in this country via the Democrats, I guess. Via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made And so they want to make sure that the rest of the country is miserable too. That's what J.D. Vance said. Though Harris does not have biological children, ABC News says, she does have two stepchildren, Cole and Ella Imhoff, who have lovingly referred to her as Mamala. That's crazy. Mamala. I kind of like that. It's cool. Ella Imhoff responded on Instagram, writing, "I love my three parents." Buttigieg also hit back against Vance's comments. So that's interesting. J.D. Vance, of course, having many stuff coming out right now from his past, resurfacing videos, resurfacing statements, and people are not happy with him right now. But, mostly on the Republican side, people are actually kind of going along with him. But people on the left right now are attacking him for sure. It's happening on both sides, but it's also majority happening on the left. The left is attacking J.D. Vance more than the right, of course, as you would expect. The two parties have their two sides, and of course they're going to attack the other side. But even people within the Republican Party are attacking J.D. Vance for these comments and these, resurfaced videos. Let me know what you think. Now, CBS News posted this video, and it shows a clip here of, who is this dude right here? This is a reporter. Major Garrett. So Major Garrett, he's a reporter for CBS News, I guess. And he interviewed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And he's going to show the clip here. I'm going to play it so you can hear it, by the way. If you're watching on podcast, you can hear it. But if you're watching the video, you'll also be able to see the clip. It says CBS News sits down with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. today for his first interview since President Biden's addressed the nation about his decision to leave the 2024 race. Okay, so he sat down with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Here's the interview. I'm going to play the clip.
Did you watch the president's address last night?
I watched part of it.
Your impression?
I think it was more of a statement about what his accomplishments were rather than sort of a reassurance to the American public about where we are today.
Did he provide an adequate explanation of the circumstances of the last week, to your belief?
I don't think so.
What's missing?
Well, I've known Joe Biden for 40 years, and I commend him and respect him for the 50 years that he gave in service to our country. But I think he tarred that reputation and that career over the past year by refusing to let go of power. And, one of the things that a lot of Americans blame Donald Trump for is the January 6th event, which
Do you?
suggested that he was unwilling to let go of power. And let me just finish what I'm saying. One of the most important events in the history of our country was George Washington's decision to resign after the second term. So I think part of our traditions is that our leaders relinquish power, and that they do that graciously. And no, I don't think that President Trump did that graciously, and I don't think President Biden did either.
Did you watch the...
All right, so that was the clip of the interview with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Here's what I have to say. I think it was a good interview. I think he said some really good points. He talked about how Biden tarred his reputation. That is true. I mean, objectively, that is true. And, he also talked about how Trump and the way he's handled it has not been good, and the way Biden handled it is not good either. He's correct. I like everything he said here. And once again, I'm voting Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and I fully endorse Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and I believe people should do more research into him if you haven't yet. If you're listening, if you're watching right now, do more research into Robert F. Kennedy Jr. because he can win, and he's one of the best candidates, I think, in my lifetime, and potentially ever. I know that's a big statement, but that's just my view. Definitely in my lifetime, though. Now, the next story is going to be from CBS News, and here's what it says. It's actually some breaking news. Harvey Weinstein hospitalized with COVID? Double pneumonia, representative says. Harvey Weinstein tested positive for COVID-19 and contracted double pneumonia An authorized representative confirmed on Thursday. Weinstein, who is awaiting retrial in his New York criminal case, is appealing his California conviction, is also dealing with diabetes, high blood pressure, spinal stenosis, and fluid on the heart. So he has fluid on his heart and his lungs. Okay. The representative said he's currently at the Bellevue Hospital prison, according to the New York City Department of Correction records. That's crazy. So he's dealing with a lot of stuff right now, including now COVID-19. That's wild. I can't even imagine, to be honest. White House. The White House's physician insists that Biden's health is excellent. Do you agree with him? Hell no. It says the physician for President Joe Biden, this is reported by Newsmax, maintained Thursday that the president's overall health and mental fitness are both excellent, according to reports. Wow, dude, that's crazy. They're still pushing the narrative, even though he's dropped out of the race because he was not mentally fit. And we've all seen it for the past 4 years, and especially the past 2 years. Man, now the White House physician saying he's excellent, bro. Just pristine. Come on now, fire that White House physician. He's not doing his job. Fire the White House physician. There's no way he's doing his job at all. If we're going to have a physician in the White House, we need someone who's going to tell the truth, and we need someone who's going to do an accurate test. Okay? If this guy is saying Biden's health is excellent, I would not want that guy to do checkups on me. That guy should not be the physician. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think. Now, Donald Trump leads Kamala. We talked about this earlier, but in the new New York Times Siena College poll, Donald Trump leads the Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris by 48%. 48% to 46%. So Kamala 46, Donald Trump 48. In the New York Times Siena College poll of registered voters conducted July 22nd to 24th. So it's a 2-day test. The poll of 1,142 registered voters nationwide had a margin of error of 3.3 percentage points. So there is a margin of error here. Keep that in mind, but it's pretty accurate. It's fairly accurate. 48% to 46. Now that is only 2 points ahead, 2 percentage points, and with the margin of error being 3.3, it could be wrong. We got to keep that in mind. But let me know what you think. Newsmax reported that Governor Newsom orders removal of homeless encampments. So Governor Newsom now is removing homeless people from public property. Okay? These homeless encampments that they built with the tents and the homeless people, he's now going to get rid of those. He's going to move the situation. I've talked about this forever. They never fix the homeless problem. Okay? They never fix the situation. They always move the situation. It says that Gavin Newsom issued an executive order for the removal of homeless encampments in the state. What this is going to do is going to move the homeless encampments, it's going to move the homeless people. Okay, many of these people are homeless because of you. Straight up, they're homeless because of you. And now you're going to say, I made you homeless. And now your only home, which is the street, the public property, we're going to remove that too. Where are they supposed to go? Genuine question. Where are they supposed to go? I mean, are we going to send them to space? So they can't be on public property. They can't have these encampments. They can't set up their own tents. So you're just... They just vanish? I think Gavin Newsom has fixed the problem. He just vanished the homeless people. That's how you fix it. Just vanish them. Send them to the ether. Okay, send them to another dimension. This guy's got it. He knows what's happening here. He's got it, man. He's fixing the problems. I'm sorry, but this is insane. I don't agree with this. I get it. I get the whole issue of having homeless encampments and how it's a danger to people in society. But you have to understand that this does not fix the issue. This just moves the issue, makes it worse. Here's what happens. the homeless encampments pop up in an area. People start complaining, and then Gavin Newsom will move them to a different area. And then those people will start complaining, and then he'll move them to a different area, and then those people will start complaining, and it just keeps going on until the end of time. He never actually fixes the issue, as no one does. I mean, we need real leaders. This is crazy. Newsmax reported Donald Trump, so Donald Trump, the 45th president of the United States, this is what he had to say. He said, now we have a new victim to defeat. Okay, we have a new victim to defeat. Lying Kamala Harris. That's the name he used. Lying Kamala Harris. The most incompetent and the most far-left vice president in American history. Now look, he's correct on the most far-left. He's correct on that. She is the most radical, the most progressive candidate in American history. Both the Republicans and the Democrats agree with that. Now it says that Trump, this is what Trump said. Biden quit because he was losing so badly in the polls. He was down in every single poll and down by a lot, so he quit. And that's true. I 100% agree with Trump there. Let me know what you think, though. Newsmax, here's what they had to say. A federal judge accused Hunter Biden's attorneys of making false statements in their motion asking to dismiss his federal tax indictment. So they're accused. Hunter Biden's legal team is accused of false statements. We'll see where that story goes. We'll see what happens and if more developments come out soon. Newsmax, we have 3 more stories to go. Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode. This is coming from Newsmax, and this is insane. Now let me read this to you, because there was a whistleblower, This whistleblower said that the United States Secret Service refused drones before Trump's shooting. That's an insane lead. That's an insane news story. That should be breaking everywhere. The U.S. Secret Service refused offers to use drones at former President Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania before the failed assassination attempt. And once again, that's coming from a whistleblower who told Senator Josh Hawley, A whistleblower came out and said they refused drones. That makes the Secret Service look like even more that they are in on it, Man, that does not disprove anything. That does not disprove, that adds to it. Because they refused drones. That means they refused literally being able to survey the area and being able to make sure that it was secure. They refused it. That's wild. Now, Donald Trump, reported by Newsmax, but Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, So, Truth Social, if you don't know, is, of course, Donald Trump's own social media platform, similar to X or Twitter. Here's what he had to say. Here's what Donald Trump posted onto Truth. He said, "Crooked Joe Biden and lying Kamala Harris are a great embarrassment to America. There has never been a time like this." Now, it says that he also said, "Now we have a new victim to defeat." This is the statement that we already read, but we have a new victim to defeat. Lying Kamala Harris, the most incompetent and far-left vice president in American history. Like I said, I already agree on him saying that she is the most left. I'm not sure about victim. But he is correct about the lies. Lying Kamala Harris. He is correct. She has lied so much, including the cover-up of Joe Biden's health, So, the last story that we have today is another Truth Social post coming from Donald Trump. Donald Trump posted to Truth Social. He said, "Crooked Joe Biden's Oval Office speech was barely understandable and so bad." Now he's talking about the speech that Joe Biden gave yesterday, essentially saying that he's endorsing Kamala Harris, he's going to be the president until the end of his term, and all that other stuff. I thought it was a decent speech, by the way. Definitely one of his better speeches in the recent times. It says, President Joe Biden said on Wednesday that he is passing the torch to a new generation, as he explained his abrupt departure from the 2024 presidential race to Americans for the first time on Wednesday night. And that's the final story that we have today. Thank you so much for watching episode number 7 of the show. I really appreciate you guys. You guys have been supporting the show. You guys have been liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff. It helps us grow in the algorithm. and I really have a fun time making these shows. So thank you so much for joining us on episode number 7. I will see you guys on episode number 8. Man, so much happening in the world right now. Have a great day.